Welcome to Public Global. I'm Akhil Swami, and in last 1 week, you might have heard this particular word, Gen Z, that defines the generation G that who are very young kids, less than 20 years of age, or say around 22, 23, born after 2000, and who are less than 25. But you have not heard the other word against which they were fighting. The other word was Nepo kids. So the Gen Z were who were less than 25 years of age, and the Nepo kids were those kids of well-defined families, affluent families, rich political families, who were getting as of their right to get the benefit in their country, and even if they did not have any credentials or the qualification or the competence to be on those positions, he got that. So hardly 0.5% Nepo kids were ruling the roast, and the rest 99.5% population who belong to the OBC class or the Dalit class or non-Brahmin, non-Kshatriya community, because Brahmin and Kshatriya community form around say 25% in the population of Nepal, as in India they form around 15%. So there is basically a resentment in the OBC and Shilukal tribe that if we are in our total population, in the Hindu population is around 85%, why are we not getting the chance to participate in the affluence and the judiciary and the media or the other important posts? So the situation was almost similar in India and Nepal, and this Gen Z thought as if they are deprived of their fundamental rights, and there was a resentment which was brewing for last 10 years. Now, this particular resentment that was brewing for last 10 years got into a sort of a revolt in the country, and nobody could have imagined that what really happened in Pakistan, what really happened in Sri Lanka, what really happened in Bangladesh, that would also happen in Nepal. It happened in Nepal because the situation and the condition of Nepal is almost similar to India. The same type of configuration is there. The upper caste, lower caste, the Hindu, Muslim domination. So things are almost similar, and we are neighboring countries, sovereign countries. And there is a roti beti ka rishta also between Bihar and Nepal. You know, Bhagwan Shri Ram was from India, from Ayodhya, and Mata Sita was from Nepal. So we have a very long-term relationship with Nepal, and the situation almost is very similar. Now these Nepo kids, because the Gen Z thought as if they were driving a say vehicle of 50 lakhs or 1 crore, they were living in very lavish space, and even if they did not have the competence, they were getting all the benefits. And the top leadership of whether Nepali Congress or the Communist Party or any other party in Nepal also belonged, and the dominated was by the upper castes. And the OBCs and Shilukal tribe never got any opportunity of participation in the establishment or the ruling alliance. So all these things led to the resistance and resistance, and that is what really happened. And last 10 days you saw, which nobody could have imagined, that they burned down the Supreme Court, they burned down the Parliament, they beat very senior officials and the politicians, and even the sitting ministers were beaten by the crowd. So everybody should condemn this type of violence in any country, whether it is in neighboring country, our friendly country, or enemy country. But the main cause was that the Gen Z were not getting jobs, they were not treated well, and the Nepo kids got everything without any criteria. Now, I'm cautioning this, I'm referring to this because you call it Gen Z and Nepo kids in Nepal, but a similar type of situation happens in India also, is almost there. There is also a resentment in India that 15% population of upper caste is ruling the roast. 85% are not represented in judiciary or media or academics or any other field for that matter. And if you see that the positions of dominance, this caste are not there. And that is why the Rahul Gandhi and everybody who supports social justice is talking about the representation to backward classes and scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. And this particular demand was made by Dr. Ramanlal Lohiya 60 years back. He also talked about that जिसकी जितनी हिस्सेदारी उसकी उतनी भागीदारी. But if that is not done, then this 85% population can create problems as it created problem in Nepal. Now, see in India, any top leader for that matter, any top leader, whether it's Congress or BJP or Communist Party or JDU or Telugu Desam Party or Akali Dal, any party for that matter. Amit Shah is the strongest minister in the Modi's cabinet. He is number two. Number two may be Rajnath Singh, but factually, Rajnath Singh is number two. He dominates. He decides. And because he is the Home Minister of India and closest to Mr. Modi, his son, Jai Shah, who is hardly 33, 34 years old, who is a textile engineer and who never played cricket, was the president of BCCI, Control Board of India, and now he is the head of the International Cricket Board. Now, the question that is coming in the mind of the generation Gen Z, that whether, like in Nepal, it was Nepo kids, India also has Indo kids, where these top politicians' children, like Rajnath Singh's son is AMLA, and Anurag Singh Thakur also is a son of ex-chief minister of Himachal Pradesh. So everywhere you find that the leaderships don't change, new people don't get any opportunity to get into politics or academics or anywhere because the caucus is made and the entries barriers are created, and a new generation and these aspiring young boys and girls don't get any opportunity. You see, in Bihar, you are seeing as to what happened in SSC. You saw as to when the demonstration was taking place in Ram Leela ground, how mercilessly the police did beat them. And if you compare as to what happened in Ram Leela ground with Ramdev, this particular situation was worst. So any person for that matter, in Punjab you see Sukhbir Singh Badal, Prakash Singh Badal, in Haryana you see Devi Lal and Chautala ji and Abhay Chautala and Ajay Chautala and Dushyant Chautala. Kashmir you see Sheikh Abdullah, Farooq Abdullah, Umar Abdullah. Then PDP also the same thing. UP also Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav, Mulayam Singh Yadav. Bihar also used everywhere, every political party, a new sort of a generation of the Indo kids like Nepo kids in Nepal is being created, and that is creating a resentment in the Gen Z. And the best thing, because if you make a list of the top politicians of India and even the BJP ministers and MPs, if somebody makes a list, 80% of the children of the ministers and MPs are either citizens of America, Europe, or any other country, They have establishments in different parts of the world, and some of them have even taken the citizenship of that country. So they teach the Gen Z as to how to remain loyal with India. And their own children are getting the citizenship of Christian countries and Muslim countries. And when the Kamana Yatra takes place in India, you see hardly any child of any politician or bureaucrat participates in Kamana Yatra, but this Gen Z energy is being utilized there. And just because of the Pushpa Varsha on them, they are told to save in Hinduism and the kids of the top politicians and bureaucrats go to America, Europe, get educated there, get high salary jobs there, take citizenship there, and don't talk about Hinduism there. But the Gen Z's energies are diverted towards saving Hinduism. So that particular thing which happened in Nepal, it may not happen in India. The point is that what Rahul Gandhi is talking about social justice, that the lower class and the backward classes should get representation. And this Nepo kids there in Nepal or Indo kids in India, their matter of right as we have the right to rule the judiciary and the media and bureaucracy and everywhere, that has to be stopped somewhere so that the tension between the Indo kids and Gen Z doesn't result into any damage to the country's properties or anything. We hope, we wish, we pray that the government gets awake and takes proper steps so that the social justice is provided, the tensions don't view, and the motherland doesn't suffer. Namaskar, Dhanyavad, and Pranam.